Hey, and welcome to Better Golfer Today. I'm your host, Tyler Dice, and we are doing a new show format for you guys out there. So, the new format is going to be me answering questions. So I'm going to do one question each little podcast. They're going to be much shorter, much quicker podcast, and so let's get started. So today's question is going to be on putting. It's how do I get better inside 5 feet? This is a great question, and I am happy and excited to answer it. So, when you're inside 5 feet, you're essentially, you're trying to make all these putts, right? You are trying to make them, and you need to make them, and you need to make as many of them as possible to help you with your, to have the most consistent scoring possible. So, how do you get better, right? Well, first things first is you need to have a very consistent routine, okay? So, whatever your routine is, it needs to be very consistent and needs to be done every single time you putt, okay? Now, I say that, but we'll put a caveat on there, and that is if you have something from 3 inches away or a foot away and it's a tap in, you don't need to go through your entire routine on that little tap in. I mean, let's be realistic here. But if you have a 5-footer, you have a 10-footer, you have a 15-footer, use your routine. Stick to your routine and do it every time. All right, moving on from that, I would highly recommend being as precise as possible with your read. Okay, when you're inside 5 feet, typically most of these putts do not have a ton of break. In fact, you're going to be playing most of them inside the cup, right? So you're not going to be aiming outside the hole, and so you want to be as precise as possible. What I find is that the more precise you are on the short putts, the more precise you are on the longer putts, and the better you are on the short putts, the better you will end up being on the long putts. If you have confidence that you can make 5-footers consistently, then you can make 5-footers consistently, and that's going to help you make longer putts also. So be as precise as possible with your read. After that, I would highly recommend playing a little bit less break and hitting these putts a little bit firmer. Now, I'm not saying hit them firmer as in hitting them 5 feet past the hole firmer on a 5-footer, but I am saying give it a little oomph. It's okay if you roll 2-3 feet past, but especially when you're trying to play the ball inside the hole. So get some confidence and just give it a little bit more pace. You can hold the line a little bit better, have it smack the back of the cup. You know, these are good things. All right, these are definitely good things to do. So, a little summary, what we do. We talked about having a very consistent routine, be super precise on your reads, and be a little bit more aggressive with your speed, okay? Those things are incredibly important. The last thing I would definitely recommend on helping you make more putts inside 5 feet is going to be very specific with the spot, the quote-unquote spot you're trying to have your ball roll over, okay? Or the point at which you are aiming. So obviously, like I said, be very precise with your read, but this is a little bit different, okay? Sometimes people don't like to aim, say, outside the cup or to a right edge or whatever. And instead, they like to aim maybe at a spot 6 inches, a foot in front of their golf ball. This is kind of how I like to aim. What I mean by kind of, this is how I like to aim. Okay? So I like to have my ball roll over a spot between me and the hole. And I like to aim at that spot. Okay? And so be super precise if this is how you aim. Okay? And be very mindful of that spot. Okay? And so those 4 things are very important, and they'll help you make more putts inside 5 feet. And thank you everyone for listening. And I got more podcasts coming your way because again, we're doing a shorter episode, so we're trying to put more good content out this week that's a lot more specialized. So thanks again for listening. I'll let you go. Have a good night.